Hi folks, this is Karim Raoum from our IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Matrix Labs, the video number 124. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have closed the topic of troubleshooting Windows using remote tools, for example, like Command Shell commands, and we have discussed other tools like PowerShell Remote and SSH and PS exec, a lot of tools actually. All of them are very important to troubleshoot Windows remotely through a non-graphical interface. We have seen how this is very important, and we have seen a lot of useful command shell commands to troubleshoot problems remotely. Today we will discuss another tool and we will focus on it more, which is PSExec, which is one of the important tools in Windows Sys internal tools, which we will have some videos focusing on them because they are very important tools, very important for IT administrators to focus on. Actually, I didn't use these tools before, but when I read about them and use them, actually they are very useful and every IT should know about them. So today we'll focus about a tool called PSExec, which is similar to PowerShell remoting and Command Shell remote, but this is different and have some characteristics that differentiate it from remote PowerShell remoting and Command Shell remoting. We will see first the first thing or the first question that will arise: what is the difference, or when we should use PowerShell remote, when we should use Command Shell remote, or PSExec? When should we use them? When should we use them? So this is the answer of perplexity. It will give us some or the answer for this question. Let me read it out loudly for you guys, and there is as we can see also some comparison for the two. So if we do that and tell him to read out loud.
Share, export, rewrite, related. Were the main. When deciding whether to use PowerShell remoting, Command Shell remoting, or PSExec for remote system management, the choice depends on the specific use case, environment, and security requirements. Here's a breakdown of when to use each. PowerShell remoting. PowerShell remoting is ideal for enterprise automation. It allows you to execute commands or scripts across multiple machines simultaneously, one-to-many remoting, making it efficient for large-scale administrative tasks like software deployment, configuration changes, or log collection. 23. Interactive sessions. You can establish an interactive session with a single remote machine, similar to SSH, to troubleshoot or manage systems interactively. 24. Performance. Commands are executed directly on the remote machine, reducing network overhead and processing load on the local machine. This is particularly useful for querying large numbers of systems quickly. For security, PowerShell remoting uses encrypted communication and integrates well with Windows authentication mechanisms, e.g., Kerberos, making it secure for enterprise environments. 34. Use cases. Managing Windows servers in an Active Directory domain. Running scripts on multiple machines simultaneously. Incident response tasks like querying logs or applying patches across a network. Command Shell remoting. Command Shell remoting, e.g., using SSH or similar tools, is suitable for cross-platform administration. If you need to manage both Windows and non-Windows systems, Command Shell remoting provides a more universal interface. 5. Direct command execution. It allows you to execute commands directly on a remote system as if you were physically present, making it simple for ad hoc troubleshooting or configuration tasks. 5. Lightweight use cases. If you only need basic remote access without complex scripting or automation requirements. Use cases. Managing mixed environments with Linux and Windows systems. Simple troubleshooting tasks on individual machines. Remote server administration when PowerShell is not available. PSExec. PSExec is best used for quick remote command execution. It allows you to execute commands or launch processes remotely with minimal setup. This is useful for one-off tasks like running diagnostics or restarting services 67. GUI-based applications. PS exec can launch GUI applications on remote systems, which is not possible with PowerShell remoting 6. Standalone environments. Unlike PowerShell remoting, PS exec does not require prior configuration like enabling remoting or setting up firewalls. It works out of the box as long as you have administrative credentials 7. Legacy systems. It can be used in environments where older versions of Windows are in use that may not support advanced PowerShell features. Use cases. Deploying software updates or patches across multiple machines. Running quick diagnostics or collecting system information. Troubleshooting legacy systems without configuring PowerShell remoting. Comparison table. Feature/criteria. PowerShell remoting. Command shell remoting. PS exec. Setup requirements. Requires enabling remoting and firewall rules 1. Minimal, e.g. SSH setup 5. No setup. Uses admin credentials 6. Security. Encrypted and integrates with Windows Authentication 3. Depends on protocol, e.g. SSH 5. Relies on account privileges 6. Cross-platform support. Windows only. Yes. Windows only. Automation parallel tasks. Excellent for one to many tasks 2. Limited. Limited. GUI application support. No. No. Yes 6. Performance. High. Runs commands locally on remote machines 4. Moderate. Moderate. Summary. Use PowerShell remoting for enterprise-level automation, parallel execution, and secure management of Windows systems. Opt for Command Shell remoting when managing mixed environments or performing lightweight tasks. Choose PS exec for quick, ad hoc remote command execution, especially in standalone or legacy environments.
So this is, uh, as you can see here, PS exec has some features or some advantages. It doesn't need any setup. It you can just run it from your IT machine, and it will go remotely and do everything. It will install a remote service to control the remote machine, and after finishing your session, it will delete this remote service and clean everything. As we can see, also PS exec can do a lot of things actually. Uh, Similar to PowerShell Remote, but PowerShell Remote is more flexible and adaptive for scripting. But PSExec can do a lot of things. We will see now how it is very, very useful and how we can use it to create batch files and create batch scripts to do a lot of things. So what is my reference for discussing this topic? It's also from the wonderful Tech Savvy Production YouTube channel for Mr. Low Vanderpool, and here is the video PS exec, a powerful tool for admins. And as we can see here, he also give us some video notes that contains a lot of information and some on the presentation for his video. We will use both to feed up most AI tools to explain this topic. Okay, I urge you all to go and see his video and download these two PDFs. As we will see here from this one, this is the slides, okay, that he will talk about, and these are the reference, a lot of useful links, a lot of useful information. All of this we will I will feed it up with AI tools to explain it and to get most of the AI tools. So now we will begin discussing this topic. First of all, let me begin with the first tool, which is uh, Cloth 3.7 Sonnet. Here is the first prompt: explain troubleshooting with the Windows Sys internal PS exec using the PDF in your project knowledge as a reference, like I'm a junior IT administrator. Show how this concept works, provide a real world scenario, and include common pitfalls to avoid. So this is the prompt. I have already give him the PDF of Mr. Low Vanderpool and ask him to explain the topic. Let's see how this topic will be explained, and then we will go further explaining it by doing some hands-on exercises, but let's first read the first uh, explanation of this topic. Here you go, this is the one, and then let's read it out loudly.
Our self-time and providing better service to your users. Troubleshooting with Windows sysinternals ps-exec. ps-exec is a powerful command line utility from the sysinternals suite that allows you to execute commands on remote computers. Think of it as a lightweight remote access tool without the need to install any client software on the remote machines. How ps-exec works. When you run ps-exec, it performs several operations behind the scenes. It connects to the remote computer using SMB, port 445. It copies a small service executable, success.exe, to the remote computer's C:\Windows folder. It creates and starts a Windows service on the remote machine. This service executes your command and redirects the output back to your console. When finished, it automatically removes the service and cleans up. The beauty of ps-exec is that it makes remote commands look like they're running locally on your machine. Real-world scenario. Troubleshooting a print spooler issue. Imagine you receive a call from a user who can't print. Their print jobs are stuck in the queue, and they're getting frustrated. Instead of walking to their desk or connecting with a full remote desktop session, you can use ps-exec to quickly fix the issue. Here's how you might handle it. Open a command prompt as an administrator on your computer. Run this command to stop the print spooler on the user's computer. Copy. //usersp snet stop spooler. Clear the stuck print jobs by deleting files in the spool folder. Copy. //usersp scmd/cdel/q/fc /windows/spool/printers/start**. Restart the print spooler. Copy. //usersp snet start spooler. All this takes just seconds to execute, and you've resolved the issue without leaving your desk. Common pitfalls to avoid. Based on the document, here are some common issues and how to avoid them. Firewall blocks. Make sure file and printer sharing is enabled on the remote computer. TCP port 445 must be open. Authentication issues. If you're in a workgroup environment, not domain, you may need to use the S-switch to run as system. Specify a local administrator account with username, password. UAC interference. On Windows Vista and later, user account control might block remote commands. Use the H-switch when running against Vista or newer systems to run with elevated privileges. Leaving services behind. If ps-exec terminates unexpectedly, it might leave the success service running. Check with sc query success on the remote computer. If found, clean it up with sc delete success. Antivirus blocking. Many antivirus programs flag ps-exec. It's often used by attackers. You might need to add exceptions in your security software. Interactive sessions. By default, GUI applications don't appear on the remote screen. Use the I-switch to make applications interactive. For Session 1, typical user session use. I1. Useful ps-exec commands for IT admins. Remote command prompt. Copy. // computer name. ICMD. Run as system locally, great for accessing protected registry keys. Copy. // s. I regedit. View system information on remote computers. Copy. // computer name, system info. Install software silently on multiple computers. Copy. // at computers.txt, c installer.exe/quiet, where computers.txt contains one computer name per line. Fix Windows Update issues remotely. Copy. // computer name. SNET stop wazerv and in // computer name. SNet Start Wazirf. Remember that PSExec is a powerful tool that gives you significant access to remote systems. Always use it responsibly and ensure you have proper authorization before accessing any computer in your network. By mastering PSExec, you'll be able to troubleshoot problems quickly and efficiently, saving yourself time and providing better service to your users.
So this is the answer of Claude 3.7 Sonnet. If you go to Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental 0325, which is a very, very good one and the top model of Google, it's also giving me fantastic answers. Actually, it's developing very, very fast. Let's try to read also the answer and see if it give us more info or more useful info.
Okay, Junior Admin. Let's talk about a super handy tool you'll find in your toolkit, psexec.exe. It's part of the famous sysinternal suite created by Mark Russinovich, a big name at Microsoft Azure now. Think of it like a remote control, but specifically for running command line programs on other Windows machines on your network. Based on the reference materials, here's the lowdown. What is psexec? It's a command line utility. You run it from command exe or PowerShell. It lets you execute programs on remote computers or even your local one in special ways. Crucially, it redirects the input and output of that program back to your console. This makes it feel like you're running the command directly on the remote machine, even though you're sitting at your desk. It doesn't require you to manually install any software on the remote machine beforehand. This is a huge time saver. How does it work simplified? Imagine you want to run IP protocol configuration /all on a remote server named Server01. Connection. PSExec on your machine uses your credentials, or ones you provide, to connect to Server01 using standard Windows networking, SMB protocol, typically port 445. This needs file and printer sharing enabled and the firewall open for it. Service copy. It copies a small helper service file, success.exe, from itself over to a hidden administrative share on Server01, usually /server01/admin$system32, which maps to C:\Windows/system32. Service start. It then remotely tells the Windows Service Control Manager on Server01 to install and start this success.exe as a temporary service. Execution and redirection. The success service on Server01 launches the command you requested, IP protocol configuration /all. It captures the output and sends it back over the network to your PSExec console. If the command needed input, success would wait for you to type it and send it over. Cleanup. Once IP protocol configuration /all finishes, success reports back the exit code, stops itself, and gets automatically uninstalled and deleted from Server01. It leaves no mess. Why is this useful for troubleshooting? The concept. Think about common issues. A service stopped running on a server, a user's machine acting weirdly, needing to check network settings remotely without disrupting the user via remote desktop. PSExec lets you run diagnostic commands, IP protocol configuration, ping, tracert, netstat, system info on a remote machine. Manage services, start, stop, query, or configure services remotely, e.g., SC query spooler, netstop spooler, netstart spooler. Check processes, list running processes, task list, or even kill a stuck one, task kill. Note, slist and skill from the same suite are often used with PSExec or directly. Access things needing high privileges. Using the S switch, you can run commands as the NT authority /system account on the remote machine, which has very high privileges, useful for accessing things even administrators normally can't easily reach, like certain registry keys or files. Run scripts, execute batch files, or PowerShell scripts remotely to automate fixes. Real-world scenario, stuck print spooler. A user calls, complaining they can't print. You suspect the print spooler service on their machine, user01, is stuck. instead of walking over or disrupting them with remote desktop. Open an elevated command prompt or PowerShell on your admin workstation. Navigate to where secsec.exe is, or have it in your system's path. Check the service status. Secsec //usurp01 SSC query spooler. Use code with caution bash //usurp01. The target computer. S. Run as the system account, often needed for service control. SC query spooler. The command to check the spooler service status. You see the service is stop _ pending or stopped. Try stopping it forcefully if needed, though often query is enough. Secsec //usurp01 SNet stop spooler. Use code with caution bash. Start the service. Secsec //usurp01 SNet start spooler. Use code with caution bash. Check the status again. Secsec //usurp01 SSC query spooler. Use code with caution bash. It now shows running. You ask the user to try printing again. Success. This whole process took maybe a minute from your desk, saving travel time and minimizing user disruption. Common pitfalls to avoid: junior admin watchouts. Access denied errors. This is the most common issue. Credentials. Do you have admin rights on the remote machine? If in a work group, you must use an admin account, often the built-in RID 500 administrator if enabled, and might need username, password. Using P is less secure. Omitting P prompt securely. If in a domain, your domain account needs local admin rights on the target. Firewall. Is TCP port 445 blocked between your machine and the remote one? File and printer sharing needs to be allowed in the firewall, usually just for the private or domain network profile. Admin. Share available on the remote machine? File/printer sharing usually enables this. Workgroup UAC. When targeting a workgroup machine with a local admin account that isn't the built-in RID 500 administrator, UAC often interferes remotely. You might need the H switch run elevated if the OS supports it, or may need to use the built-in administrator or disable remote UAC on the target. Less secure. Using S can sometimes bypass this too in workgroups. Secsec is not recognized. Error. We didn't run the command from the directory containing secsec.exe, or the directory isn't in your system's path environment variable. Easiest fix. CD to the PS Tools folder first, or add it to your path. Installing from the Microsoft Store handles the path. Command fails, but PS exec connects. The command you try to run might not exist on the remote machine, or it's not in the remote machine system path. C:\Windows\system32, etc. You might need to specify the full path, e.g., C:\program files /myapp/tool.exe, or use the C switch to copy a local tool over first. Antivirus flags. PS exec is legitimate, but hackers love it too for moving around networks. Many AV products will flag it as risky, PUA, potentially unwanted application, or similar. You might need to create exceptions for it in your corporate AV, but only if you understand the risks and secure its usage. Using password in scripts. Avoid embedding passwords directly in the command line, P. Anyone looking over your shoulder or checking command history could see it. Let PSExec prompt you by omitting P. Interactive programs. I switch if you need to run something that shows a window or requires interactive input on the remote machine, like Regedit or CMD itself for an interactive shell. You must use the I switch. You also might need to specify a session ID, e.g., I1 for the typical user desktop session. Running GUIs remotely is tricky and usually only visible on the remote machine screen, not yours. PSExec primarily redirects console I/O. Forgetting cleanup. If PSExec crashes or is interrupted, Control+C, the success service might be left running on the remote machine. You can usually remove it manually using SC //remote PC delete success. PSExec is powerful, flexible, and a great time saver once you get the hang of the prerequisites and common switches. Just remember that with great power comes great responsibility. Always use it ethically and securely.
Very, very good answer and more detailed from that provided by Claude 3.7 Sonnet and actually give us a lot of information concerning PSExec, how it works. Let's go to Grok and see if it can add something to the previous two answers uh, provided by Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's try first. Here we go. This is the answer. Actually, also analyzing the two PDFs that I have given him. Let's see the answer of Grok and see if will give us more info uh, that can help us understand the topic more. So let's read this common pitfalls and conclusions. So here you go. This is the answer. Let's try to read it.
Troubleshooting with Windows Sysinternals PSExec, a guide for junior IT administrators. As a junior IT administrator, you'll often face the challenge of troubleshooting issues on remote Windows systems. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is psexec.exe, part of the Windows Sysinternal suite. This guide will walk you through how to use psexec.exe for troubleshooting, demonstrate its application in a real-world scenario, and highlight common pitfalls to avoid. The information is drawn from detailed references, such as the sysinternals documentation, ensuring accuracy and practicality. What is psexec.exe? psexec.exe is a command line utility that lets you execute processes on local or remote Windows systems without needing to install additional software on the target machine. It's incredibly versatile, allowing you to run commands remotely, execute programs or scripts on another computer as if you were physically there, change user contexts, run processes under different accounts, like the system account, which is handy for testing permissions or service-related issues. Think of it as a remote control for troubleshooting. Whether you need to check a service, test permissions, or dig into logs, psexec.exe can help. How does psexec.exe work? Here's the basic idea. Remote execution. You specify a target machine, e.g. //server1, and a command or program to run. psexec.exe connects to the remote system, executes the task, and returns the output to your screen. Local execution with elevated privileges. Using the S option, you can run a process locally as the system account, mimicking how services or drivers operate. For example, to run a command prompt on a remote machine, psexec.exe // server1 command exe. To run a command prompt locally as system, psexec.exe as command exe. This flexibility makes it a go-to tool for diagnosing issues that standard remote desktop tools can't handle. Real-world scenario, troubleshooting a service failure. Let's put psexec.exe into action with a practical example. Scenario. You're a junior IT admin, and a ticket comes in. A critical service called My Service on a remote server, server1, won't start. The service is configured to run under the system account, but it's failing with a vague permissions error. Your task is to figure out why and fix it. Steps to troubleshoot. Check the service status remotely. Start by confirming the service's state without logging into server1. Open a command prompt on your machine and run. Text, collapse, wrap, copy. psexec.exe / server1 sc query my service. This uses the sc command to check my service. You might see output like text, collapse, wrap, copy, state, 1 stopped. If it stopped, you've confirmed the issue. Try starting the service. Attempt to start remotely. Text, collapse, wrap, copy. psexec.exe / server1 sc start my service. Watch for errors. If it says access denied or failed to start, you'll need to dig deeper into permissions or dependencies. Simulate the service's environment. Since my service runs as system, Test its context by opening a system-level command prompt on server 1. Text, collapse, wrap, copy, psexec.exe s. I server 1 command exe. S runs as system, and I makes it interactive. You'll see the prompt. This mimics how the service operates. Verify file permissions. In the system command prompt, navigate to the services directory, e.g. c:\program files / my service, and check permissions. Text, collapse, wrap, copy. Icicles c:\program white space files / my service. Look for nt authority / system in the output. It should have f, full control, or at least rx, read / execute. If not, permissions might be the culprit. Test this service executable. Still in the system prompt, try running the service manually. Text, collapse, wrap, copy. c:\program white space files / my service / my service.exe. If it starts, great. If it fails, note any error messages, like missing files or access issues, for further investigation. Review logs. Use psexec.exe to check logs that might be restricted. Text, collapse, wrap, copy. psexec.exe / server 1 event for. This opens the event viewer on server 1. Check the application or system logs for errors related to my service. Outcome. Suppose you find that system lacks execute permissions on myservice.exe. You'd escalate this to a senior admin to adjust permissions, e.g. via icicles, then retest. Problem solved. Common pitfalls to avoid. While psexec.exe is powerful, it's easy to trip up. Here are the most common mistakes and how to dodge them. Incorrect syntax. Mistake: forgetting the / before the computer name, e.g. psexec.exe server 1 instead of psexec.exe / server 1. Fix: always use / computer name for remote targets. Permissions problems. Mistake: running psexec.exe without admin rights on a remote machine, leading to access denied. Fix: ensure your account has administrative privileges on the target system. Firewall blocking. Mistake: firewalls block ports 139 and 445 SMB, preventing psexec.exe from connecting. Fix: work with your network team to allow these ports or verify connectivity with ping server 1. Ignoring service dependencies. Mistake: starting my service without checking if it relies on another service, e.g. a database. Fix: use scqc my service to list dependencies and ensure they're running. Forgetting cleanup. Mistake: psexec.exe leaves a temporary service, success.exe, on the remote machine if interrupted. Fix: if it doesn't clean up, manually stop it with sc / server 1 delete success. Security oversights. Mistake: running untrusted scripts as system, risking system compromise. Fix: only execute known, trusted commands or binaries. Conclusion. psexec.exe is a lifesaver for junior IT admins troubleshooting remote systems. Whether you're checking a service, testing permissions, or pulling logs, it gives you the control you need without complex setups. By following the steps in our scenario and steering clear of the pitfalls, you'll resolve issues efficiently and safely. Always double-check your syntax, permissions, and security practices to make the most of this tool.
So as we can see here, the most variable answer or a detailed answer, I think, from Gemini Pro, very, very good. And the second answer is Claude 3.7, and the least one of them from my point of view is the answer from Grok. If you go now and ask him to give us hands-on exercises to explain this topic, here we go. This is a couple of hands-on exercises. Let's begin with again Claude 3.7 Sonnet.
Hands-on exercises. Troubleshooting with Windows sysinternals PS exec. Required environment. At least 2 Windows computers, physical or virtual, connected on the same network. One computer should be your administrative workstation. Other computers will be target machines for remote administration. Domain environment preferred, though some exercises work in workgroups. Administrator-level access to all machines. Sysinternals suite downloaded from Microsoft's website. Exercise 1. Setting up PS exec and running your first remote command. Objective. Learn how to download, install, and configure PS exec for remote administration and execute your first remote command. Scenario. You've just joined the IT team at Contoso Limited. Your manager has asked you to set up sysinternals PS exec on your workstation to prepare for remote troubleshooting tasks. Instructions. Download the sysinternals suite from Microsoft's website. Copy. https://download.sysinternals.com/files/sysinternalsuite.zip. Extract the contents to a folder, e.g., c://sysinternalsuite. Add this folder to your system path. Right-click Start System. Click Advanced System Settings. Click Environment Variables. Select Path under System Variables. Click Edit. Click New and add the path to your sysinternals folder. Click OK on all dialog boxes. Open a command prompt as administrator. Accept the PS exec license agreement. Copy. Sexsec/acceptilla. Identify a target computer on your network, e.g., Workstation 01. Verify network connectivity by pinging the target computer. Copy. Ping Workstation 01. Run your first remote command to retrieve the host name of the remote computer. Copy. Sexsec //workstation 01 hostname. Expected outcome. The command should execute on the remote computer and return its hostname to your console. Verification steps. You should see output showing that PS exec connected to the remote computer. The remote computer's hostname should be displayed in the output. The command should exit with code 0, indicating success. Exercise 2. Troubleshooting print spooler issues remotely. Objective. Learn how to restart a stuck print spooler and clear the print queue on a remote computer. Scenario. A user called the help desk reporting that their print jobs are stuck in the queue. They've tried canceling the jobs through the print manager, but nothing happens. The user needs to print an important document for a meeting in 15 minutes. Instructions. Open command prompt as administrator on your management workstation. Check the status of the print spooler service on the remote computer. Copy. Sexsec //workstation 01 SC query spooler. Stop the print spooler service. Copy. Sexsec //workstation 01 net stop spooler. Delete all files in the print queue directory. Copy. Sexsec //workstation 01 cmd/c del/f/qc 2 /windows /system32 /spool /printers ****. Restart the print spooler service. Copy. Sexsec //workstation 01 net start spooler. Verify the print spooler is running. Copy. Sexsec //workstation 01 SC query spooler. Expected outcome. The print spooler service will restart and all stuck print jobs will be cleared from the queue. Verification steps. The command to stop the spooler should report success. The deletion command should execute without errors. The command to start the spooler should report success. The final status check should show the spooler as running. Ask the user to try printing again to confirm the issue is resolved. Exercise 3. Managing Windows services across multiple computers. Objective. Learn how to check and manage Windows services on multiple computers simultaneously using PS exec. Scenario: your security team has discovered that the remote registry service is running on several workstations, which violates company policy. You need to check all computers in the accounting department and ensure this service is disabled. Instructions: create a text file named accounting_computers.txt containing the computer names of the accounting department, one per line. Copy ACCT PC01 ACCT PC02 ACCT PC03. Open command prompt as administrator on your management workstation. Check the status of the remote registry service on all computers. Copy exec at accounting_computers.txtsc query remote registry. Stop the remote registry service on all computers where it's running. Copy exec at accounting_computers.txtnet stop remote registry. Disable the remote registry service on all computers to prevent it from starting automatically. Copy exec at accounting_computers.txtsc config remote registry start equals disabled. Note: the space after start equals is important. Verify the service is now disabled. Copy exec at accounting_computers.txtsc query remote registry. Expected outcome: the remote registry service will be stopped and disabled on all accounting department computers. Verification steps: the final status check should show the remote registry service as stopped. The startup type should be listed as disabled. Machines that couldn't be accessed will show connection errors. Document these for follow-up. Exercise 4. Remote software deployment and uninstallation. Objective: learn how to silently install and uninstall software on remote computers using PS exec. Scenario: the IT department has approved Firefox as the standard browser. You need to deploy it to a department that currently uses outdated browser versions. Later, you'll also need to uninstall it from a test machine. Instructions. Part A. Remote software installation. Download the Firefox installer, firefox_setup.exe, to a shared network location or your local machine. Open command prompt as administrator on your management workstation. If the installer is on your local machine, use PS exec to copy and execute it on the remote computer. Copy exec / workstation 01 C s firefox_setup.exe/s. If the installer is on a network share, use PS exec to run it directly. Copy exec / workstation 01 s // server / share /firefox_setup.exe/s. Note: the /s switch is for silent installation. Wait for the installation to complete. The command will return when finished. Part B. Remote software uninstallation. Uninstall Firefox from a test machine using its uninstaller. Copy exec / test 01 sc:\program whitespace files /Mozilla whitespace Firefox /uninstall helper.exe/s. Expected outcome: Firefox will be installed silently on the target computers and then uninstalled from the test machine. Verification steps: the installation command should exit with code 0. Log into the remote computer and verify Firefox is installed by checking programs and features. After uninstallation, verify Firefox is no longer listed in programs and features on the test machine. Exercise 5. Accessing protected registry keys for troubleshooting. Objective: learn how to use PS exec to access restricted registry areas that normal administrator accounts cannot access. Scenario: a user is experiencing problems with their Windows profile, and you suspect issues in the HK1 machine /security registry hive. You need to examine this protected area of the registry. Instructions. Open command prompt as administrator on your management workstation. Try to view a protected registry key using remote PowerShell. Copy Sexsec / workstation 01 PowerShell. Command get child item path HKLM / security. Note: this will fail with requested registry access is not allowed. Run the same command using the system account. Copy. Sexsec / workstation 01 S PowerShell. Command get child item path HKLM / security. Launch the registry editor interactively as system on the local machine. Copy. Sexsec S. I regedit. In the registry editor, navigate to HKY_local_machine / security. HKY_local_machine / SAM. Examine the registry keys that would normally be restricted. Expected outcome: you'll be able to access normally restricted registry keys using the system account. Verification steps: the first PowerShell command should fail with an access denied error. The second PowerShell command should succeed and show contents of the security hive. The registry editor launched as system should allow you to browse normally restricted keys. Exercise 6. Combining PowerShell and PSExec for advanced administration. Objective: learn how to combine the power of PowerShell and PSExec to perform advanced remote administration tasks. Scenario: you need to enable PowerShell remoting on all computers in the sales department to prepare for a security update deployment. Some computers may have PowerShell remoting disabled by default. Instructions: use Active Directory to get a list of all computers in the sales OU. PowerShell. Copy. $computers equals get ID computer filter asterisk search base OU equals sales DC equals Contoso DC equals com name. Save the computer names to a text file. PowerShell. Copy. $computers out file path C:\temp \sales_computers.txt. Use PSExec to enable PowerShell remoting on all computers simultaneously. Copy. Sexsec at C \temp /sales_computers.txt S PowerShell command enable PS remoting force. Alternatively, use PowerShell to dynamically build the PSExec command. PowerShell. Copy. Sexsec \$ left parenthesis $ computers dash join single quote comma single quote S PowerShell command enable PS remoting force. Verify PowerShell remoting is enabled by testing a connection. PowerShell. Copy. For each $computer in $computers, $result equals test of US man computer name, $computer error action, silently continue if $result. Right host $computer. PowerShell remoting enabled. Foreground color green, else, right host $computer. PowerShell remoting failed. Foreground color red. Expected outcome: PowerShell remoting will be enabled on all computers in the sales department. Verification steps: the PSExec command should execute on all computers with minimal errors. The verification script should show green, enabled messages for most computers. Any red failed messages should be investigated further. Bonus challenge: interactive application troubleshooting. Objective: use PSExec to launch interactive GUI applications on a remote user's desktop to troubleshoot application issues. Scenario: a VIP user is experiencing problems with a business application but is currently in a meeting. They've given you permission to troubleshoot while they're away. You need to launch the application and check its configuration settings. Instructions: determine which session ID the user is logged into. Copy. Sexsec \/ vipaser-pc query session. Note the session ID, typically 1 for console sessions. Launch Notepad interactively in a user's session to test interactive functionality. Copy. Sexsec \/ vipaser-pc I1 Notepad. Launch the specific business application that needs troubleshooting. Copy. Sexsec \/ vipaser-pc I1C colon backslash program, white space files backslash business white space app backslash app.exe. Use the D parameter if you don't want to wait for the application to close. Copy. Sexec backslash backslash vipacer hyphen PC. I1. DC colon backslash program, white space files backslash business white space app backslash app.exe. For UAC-enabled systems, add the H parameter to run with elevated privilege. Sexec backslash backslash vipacer hyphen PC. I1. HC colon backslash program, white space files backslash business white space app backslash app.exe. Expected outcome. The application will launch on the user's desktop, allowing you to check settings and troubleshoot the issue. Verification steps. The application should appear on the user's screen. You should be able to interact with the application remotely. Document any configuration issues found and fix them. Close the application when troubleshooting is complete. Security considerations and best practices. Always use the least privilege necessary for the task. Use the S flag, system account, only when required. Password security. Avoid using the P parameter with passwords on the command line. When prompted for a password, it will be hidden from view. Command line histories may store passwords specified with P. In workgroups, non-domain environments, use the built-in administrator account, RID 500, for best results. Standard local administrators may be limited by UAC token filtering. Clean up after yourself. If PS exec terminates abnormally, the success service might remain on remote computers. Use SC delete success to remove lingering services. Firewall considerations. Only open file and printer sharing, TCP 445, on the private network profile. Consider using IPsec to secure administrative traffic. Antivirus concerns. Some antivirus solutions may flag PS exec as malware. Consider adding exceptions for legitimate administrative use. Always download PS exec from official Microsoft sources.
So this is the answer of Claude. I think it's very, very good. Let's go to the answer of Gemini. I think this will be our last thing today, because I think we will have more almost more than 1 hour. So let's go and try to read the answer of uh, Gemini.
Okay, junior admins. Let's get hands-on with psexec.exe. This powerful tool from the sysinternal suite allows you to run commands on remote computers as if you were sitting right there. These exercises will help you understand how it works for troubleshooting common Windows issues in an Active Directory environment. Required environment and tools. Virtual lab environment recommended. Use virtualization software like Hyper-V, VMware Workstation /Player, VirtualBox. Machines. Admin Workstation, Windows 10 11 VM, where you'll run psexec. Target PC 1, Windows 10 11 VM, target for most exercises. Target PC 2, optional for multi-machine exercise, Windows 10 11 VM. DC01, optional but recommended, Windows Server VM acting as a domain controller. If not using a DC, exercises involving domain accounts won't apply, and you'll rely solely on local accounts and workgroup rules. Active Directory. All VMs, except maybe Admin Workstation, though joining is fine, should be joined to the same Active Directory domain. Accounts. Junior Admin. Your primary user account on Admin Workstation. Grant this account local administrator rights only on Admin Workstation for realism, or use a standard user. Domain admin. a separate user account that is a member of the domain admins group in AD, or at least has local administrator rights on target PC1 and target PC2. Networking. All VMs must be on the same virtual network and able to resolve each other's names. DNS configured correctly, pointing to DC01 if used. Firewalls should initially allow file/printer sharing, TCP 445 inbound, from admin workstation to targets, or within the domain/private profile. PS exec. Download the PS Tools suite from Microsoft Docs/sysinternals. Extract sexec.exe, or the whole suite, to a known location on admin workstation, e.g. c:\pstools. Alternatively, install the sysinternals suite from the Microsoft Store on admin workstation, which automatically handles the path. Execution context. Run all your commands from an elevated command prompt or PowerShell window on admin workstation. Exercise 1. Basic remote command execution. Objective. Learn how to run a simple, non-interactive command on a remote computer and see the output locally. Verify basic connectivity and permissions. Scenario. You need to quickly check the IP address configuration of target PC1 without logging into it via RDP or disturbing a potential user. Instructions. Log into admin workstation as junior admin. Open an elevated command prompt or PowerShell. Navigate to the directory where you save sexec.exe, e.g. cd:/pstools, unless it's in your path or installed from the store. Execute the following command. Replace target PC1 with the actual host name /IP if different. Sexec /target PC1 IP protocol configuration /all. Use code with caution bash. You may be prompted to accept the PS exec EULA the first time. Type agree or click agree if a GUI pops up. Security consideration. By default, PS exec tries to connect using your current logged on user, junior admin. If this fails with access denied, it means junior admin doesn't have administrative rights on target PC1. We'll address this in a later exercise. For now, assume junior admin does have temporary local admin rights on target PC1 or retry using the domain admin credentials. See next step. If step 4 failed due to permissions rerun using domain admin credentials, PS exec will securely prompt for the password. Sexec /target PC1. Your domain /domain admin IP protocol configuration /all. Use code with caution bash. Enter the domain admin password when prompted. Expected outcome. The output of the IP protocol configuration /all command executed on target PC1 should be displayed directly in your console window on admin workstation. You'll see target PC1's network adapter details, IP addresses, DNS servers, etc. You might also see lines like PS exec connecting to target PC1 and exited on target PC1 with error code 0. Verification. Verify that the output clearly shows network configuration details, IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS servers. Verify the command exited with error code 0, indicating success. Optional. Log into target PC1 locally or via RDP. Exercise 2. Remote Service Management. And run IP protocol configuration /all to confirm the details match what PS exec returned. Exercise 2. Remote Service Management. Start/stop. Objective. Learn to query, stop, and start Windows services remotely, utilizing the S switch to run as the system account for necessary privileges. Scenario. A user reports issues with finding network printers. You suspect the print spooler service on their machine, target PC1, needs restarting. Instructions. From your elevated console on admin workstation, first query the print spooler service status on target PC1. Use domain admin credentials for permissions and S for system context needed for service control. Sexsec / target PC1. Your domain / domain admin. SSC query spooler. Use code with caution bash. Enter password when prompted. Note the current state, e.g. running stopped. Now, stop the print spooler service. Sexsec / target PC1. Your domain / domain admin. SNet stop spooler. Use code with caution bash. Wait a few seconds for the service to stop. Verify it stopped by querying again. Sexsec / target PC1. Your domain / domain admin. SSC query spooler. Use code with caution bash. Start the print spooler service. Sexsec / target PC1. Your domain / domain admin. SNet start spooler. Use code with caution bash. Verify it started. Sexsec / target PC1. Your domain / domain admin. SSC query spooler. Use code with caution bash. Expected outcome. You should see output from SC query showing the service state changing from running to stopped and back to running. The net stop and net start commands should report success. All commands should exit with error code 0. Verification. The final SC query spooler command output shows state for running. Optional. Check the system event log on target PC1 for entries related to the print spooler service stopping and starting. Exercise 3. Running with system privileges. Objective. Understand the power and utility of the S switch to execute commands in the high-privilege system security context on the remote machine. Scenario. You need to view the contents of the C:\Windows/system 32\config directory on target PC1, which typically requires system-level permissions to list fully. Instructions. First, try to list the directory without the S switch using domain admin credentials, which have admin rights, but not inherently system. Sexsec / target PC1 your domain / domain admin cmd c doppelpunkt / Windows / System 32 / config. Use code with caution bash. Enter password. Observe the output. You might get access is denied for certain files, or the command might fail partially. Now, run the same command with the S switch. Sexsec / target PC1 your domain / domain admin ist cmd c doppelpunkt / Windows / System 32 / config. Use code with caution bash. Enter password. Best practice note. Running a system should be done only when necessary due to the high privilege level. Expected outcome. The first attempt, without S, may show limited results or access denied messages. The second attempt, with S, should successfully list the contents of the directory, including sensitive files like the SAM, security, system registry hives. Both should exit with error code 0 if the directory listing command itself worked, even if access was denied to list contents in the first attempt. Verification. Compare the output listings from Step 1 and Step 2. The listing from Step 2 should be more complete, showing files that were likely inaccessible in Step 1. Verify that the second command, with S, successfully displayed files like SAM, security, software, system within the config directory listing. Exercise 4. Copy and execute a local script. Objective. Learn how to use the C switch to copy a simple script or executable from your admin machine to the target and execute it remotely. Scenario. You have a simple diagnostic batch script, diagram bat, on your admin workstation that runs hostname and Huami. You want to run this quickly on target PC1 without manually copying the file first. Instructions. On admin workstation, create a simple text file named diagram bat in the same directory where you are running sexsec.exe, or provide the full path to the script. Put the following lines inside diagram bat. At echo off echo running diagnostics on. Hostname echo command executed as Huami echo script finished. Use code with caution batch. Execute the script on target PC1 using C to copy it and S to run as system. You could also use U for domain admin. Sexec / target PC1 S C diagram bat. Use code with caution bash. Note, PSExec temporarily copies diagram bat to C : Windows / system 32 on target PC1, runs it, and then deletes it. Expected outcome. The output from the diagonal bat script will be displayed in your console. You should see target PC1's hostname and nt authority / system because you used S. The command should exit with error code 0. Verification. Confirm the output includes the hostname of target PC1. Confirm the output shows nt authority / system as the user. Verify the script finished. Message appears. Optional, try to find diagonal bat in C : Windows / system 32 on target PC1 after the command finishes. It should be gone, demonstrating the cleanup. Exercise 5. Troubleshooting firewall issues. Objective. Learn to recognize and troubleshoot connectivity problems caused by the Windows firewall. Scenario. You attempt to run a basic PSExec command against target PC1, but it fails with a network error suggesting a connection issue. Instructions. Simulate the problem. On target PC1, go to Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security. Find the inbound rules for file and printer sharing SMBN. Disable the rules that are currently enabled, likely for the domain or private profile. Make a note of which ones you disabled. Attempt PSExec. From admin workstation, try running a simple command. Sexec / target PC1 hostname. Use code with caution bash. Observe the error message. It will likely be related to the network path not being found, timeout, or RPC errors, e.g., error code 53 64 1722. Diagnose. Recognize this often points to a firewall block on TCP 445. Optional, verify port block. Use PowerShell's testnet connection from admin workstation. Testnet connection. Computer name target PC1, port 445. Use code with caution. PowerShell. This should fail or show TCP test succeeded. False. Fix the problem. Go back to the firewall settings on target PC1 and re-enable the file and printer sharing SMBN rules you disabled in step 1. Retry PSExec. Rerun the command from step 2. Sexec / target PC1 hostname. Use code with caution bash. Expected outcome. The first attempt in step 2 should fail with a network-related error. After re-enabling the firewall rules, the second attempt in step 7 should succeed and display the hostname of target PC1, exiting with error code 0. The optional testnet connection should fail initially and succeed after the fix. Verification. Successful execution of sexec / target PC1 hostname after enabling the firewall rules. The command returns the correct hostname and exits with error code 0. Exercise 6. Interactive Remote Command Prompt Advanced. Objective. Gain an interactive command prompt on the remote machine using the iSwitch. Scenario. You need to run several commands sequentially on target PC1 and see the results immediately, navigating the file system as if you were there. Instructions. From your elevated console on admin workstation, use PSExec with the iSwitch and specify CMD as the program. Use appropriate credentials. CMD. Use code with caution, bash. Enter password. Wait for the prompt to appear. It should now look like a standard command prompt, but commands will execute on target PC1. Run a few commands, e.g. hostname should show target PC1. cdc : users. dr should list user profiles on target PC1. Kwame should show your domain / domain admin. When finished, type exit and press enter. Important. Do not use Ctrl+C to close the session. This can leave the sexec running on the remote machine. Always type exit. Expected outcome. You'll get a new command prompt session that is directly connected to target PC1. Commands typed will execute on the remote machine, and output is displayed locally. Typing exit closes the remote command exe process and returns you to your original prompt on admin workstation. Verification. Verify the output of hostname matches target PC1. Verify dir list contents from target PC1's file system. Verify typing exit returns you to the admin workstation prompt and psexec exits cleanly. Error code 0. These exercises cover the core functionalities and common troubleshooting steps for psexec based on the provided reference materials. Remember to always consider the security implications when using powerful tools like this. Good luck. Create a vibrant, engaging dialogue.
So as you can see here, this is a very, very good exercises. I think it the answer of Claude 3.7 and Gemini, I think the best is Claude 3.7 and then comes Gemini. If I go to Grok and try just to have a quick peek about the exercises that he has created, maybe he have created the same things like 3.7 Sonnet and Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Gemini. For example, this ipconfig, we have seen this example before. Running a command as system local, I think also we have seen this exercise before. Troubleshooting service on a remote machine, we have seen also this exercise before. Uh, Deploying a script to multiple machines, I think we have seen this also by deploying or running a certain command on a couple of machines that are listed in a text file. I think we have done this before. If we go further, troubleshooting firewall issues Pixie, we have seen this, but again we have seen this example of firewall. So as you can see here, most of these examples we have already seen this with Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Gemini. So in the upcoming video with Godwill, we will see how we can also learn this topic by using a learning dialogue between a senior IT and a junior IT. We have seen this is also very effective way of learning. So we will see 3.7 Sonnet, the exercise or the learning dialogue that he has created, and also we will see the answer of Gemini, which will give him the same prompt to create a dialogue or a learning dialogue, and we will see all of them explaining the same topic. But as from my point of view, Claude had very high creativity concerning creating learning dialogues. So until I see you all in the upcoming video, hope this video is informative to you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.